Hi, I'm Leslie, and today we invite you to join us on an excursion as we travel to the bioluminescent bay, Laguna Grande, in Puerto Rico. We will begin by splitting you guys into groups of two, and please be careful entering your kayak. Let me introduce you to your three other tour guides who will accompany you throughout this journey. Paola will be informing you guys about the organism we all came to see today. Tamara will be informing you guys about the environment and ecosystem. And finally, Lily. She will be explaining the rules once we reach the Laguna. The bay we will kayak in is Laguna Grande, which is an area known as Las Cabezas de San Juan, which was the first glimpse of land the Spanish conquistadors saw.
Hi, I'm Paola and I will be one of your tour guides. To first start off this tour, I will be naming you the three bioluminescent bays in Puerto Rico. The first is La Paraguera in Lajas. The second is Laguna Grande in Fajaro. And the third is Mosquito Bay. And this is named for the many mosquitoes they are, so be careful. And the Spanish name for Mosquito Bay is Bahía Fosforescente. Hi, I'm Tammy, and I'll be one of your tour guides. I will describe the key features of the environment and ecosystem. Where are these bioluminescent bays in Puerto Rico? Well, they consist of Fajardo, Lajas, and Vieques. Vieques is a tiny island on the southeastern side of the main island.
There are three types of mangroves: red, white, and black. Right now, we are going through the red mangrove forest, which grows in the deepest water of all three types of mangroves. Please stay in a straight line and maintain a good distance between each kayak. Oh my god, do you guys hear that? Look to your right! What is that sleeping on the branch?
Leslie, that's a green iguana. It's actually very common to see green iguanas, especially in areas that are near the water, because green iguanas are great swimmers, so don't be afraid if you see one swimming by. Green iguanas are also agile climbers, climbing trees up to 50 feet, but even if they fall from this height, they land on the ground unharmed. Mangroves have a significant role in the ecosystem. Once red mangroves sprout and establish in the water, they release substances into the water which provide necessary nutrients to a species of dinoflagellates, which are a type of single-celled organism. The total inorganic matter varies from bay to bay. Here, we're located in the red mangroves, as Leslie said. Periodically, an upwelling happens within the sea when deeper water containing nutrients rises to the surface. These nutrients act as fertilizers and trigger a bloom of photosynthetic dinoflagellates, and the population density may spike to more than 20 million cells per liter in certain places along the coast. This high density may color the water golden or red. This is called a red tide. Blooms of certain dinoflagellate species can release neurotoxins into the water, which harm the nerve cells of marine animals. This can result in the death of a huge amount of fish, shellfish, and other forms of marine life. If marine animals containing these toxins are consumed by humans, it can result into an illness called PSAP, paralytic shellfish poisoning, and sometimes can cause death.
So we finally arrived to Laguna Grande. Everyone please gather around and Lily will explain to you guys the rules we have before the bioluminescent show starts.
Good things come to those who respect nature, and these little dinoflagellates are fragile. Bioluminescent bays ecosystems can be easily damaged by toxins. Toxins that we humans bring in the water, such as hand creams, bug repellents, lotion, sunscreen, and etc. This is why people can't swim in these special bays. We also don't encourage throwing items into the water, so we can keep taking care of it for future generations to enjoy.
The following video shows another bioluminescent experience on a neighboring island called Vieques, which is part of Puerto Rico.
This bay behind me is called Mosquito Bay, so it might not have the most appealing name, but it's one of the most beautiful in the entire world. It's got muddy brown water, and sure there's a few flying insects, but the secret is you've got to stay up past your bedtime and check it out at night. It hides something really special. I went to Vieques expecting a cool light show. I'm ready. But what I found here was one of the most amazing things I had ever seen. That's amazing. So beautiful, man. There's a bioluminescent plankton living in the bay that phosphoresces when you disturb the water. All that means is there's a little creature that causes a chemical reaction that produces a flash of light, just like a firefly, but you can fit 3 of these on the tip of a needle. Oh, dude, that looks amazing. Again? This isn't the only place in the world you can find these little creatures, but this bay has the highest concentration of them, and that makes it the brightest in the entire world. This is incredible. The normal camera, all you really see is black. So I brought one along that allowed me to capture this light the way the human eye sees it, for one of the very first times. Oh man, this looks so cool. Looks like magic. Looks so good. Can we move your fingers around a bit? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was great.
Now the anatomy of the organism. The Pyrodinium bachmanese is the scientific name of the dinoflagellate responsible for the bioluminescence you all been seeing, and the anatomy is very complex. But I'll put it down simple. This unicellular organism is spherical and has a covering of a thick and protective thecal plate made of cellulose. This armor plate is common in many types of dinoflagellates. Every cell has a multiple knob and trichocyst covering it. Each trichocyst contains a thin thread that can be discharged or ejected suddenly to capture food or for defense. And as you can see in the image, those tiny little dots or circles you see, those are the trichocysts. The chemistry of the organism. The most frequently asked question is, how do these marine creatures produce light? Let me give you the answer. The light is created by energy being released during a chemical reaction. Photoproteins bind with a special enzyme called luciferase and with other molecules, which cause the protein to change shape, ultimately producing light. And here is a close-up look of the dinoflagellate. If you want to see the bioluminescent phenomenon yourself, you will have the best experience if you book our tour on a cloudy or moonless night. Or if you wait 5 to 8 days prior to a full moon. This is because the brightness of a full moon will prevent you from experiencing the full glowing effect of the dinoflagellate. Sadly, our tour is coming to an end. As we head through the darkness provided by the mangroves, move your paddle around to see the dinoflagellates sparkle one last time.
So here's a question. How can we preserve these organisms in the bays? Well, in regards to the human impact, it's very important to be aware of the fact that these dinoflagellates are in a very fragile ecosystem, and this ecosystem we have to protect. So on this tour, we want to make sure that you're conscious of how you can protect this beautiful night show. Make sure that you do not wear sunscreen or oils because these actually make these dinoflagellates die off. When the sunscreen and oils get in the water, it causes these dinoflagellates to die. So we want to make sure that we preserve this night show for generations to come.
All right, we've reached the end of this excursion. We hope you had an amazing time and hope to come next time. Here is our works cited.